In this video, we're going to be talking about what is strategy. If you are interested in management topics like this, consider subscribing so that you can be notified when I upload new videos. And if you find this video helpful, make sure to hit the like button. Now, without further ado, let's get straight into the video. Okay, so in this video, we're going to be talking about what is strategy. We will look at some definitions of strategy as well as the importance of having a strategy. So do watch the video till the end. Let's start off with the learning outcomes. By the end of this section, you should be able to define strategy. You should be able to explain why strategy is important, and you should also be able to identify the key elements of a strategy. So first, let's start off by defining what strategy actually is. Strategy comes from the Greek word strategia, which means generalship in a military context. It is a high-level plan to achieve one or more major outcomes. Grant and Ireland define strategy as a coordinated set of actions designed to exploit opportunities and neutralize threats in order to create favorable conditions for competitive advantage and sustainable superior performance. Is strategy for the long term? Yes, it is. Strategy is for the long term. It is the long-term direction of an organization. David Heurisi and Ireland define strategy as the pattern of decisions in which an organization engages as it goes about its work of trying to accomplish its goals. Mintzberg defines strategy as a plan of action designed to achieve a goal. Strategies can also be reactive. They do not have to be made only when starting out. A company can alter its strategies as it encounters different situations. This is known as emergent strategy. Strategies must be adapted as the external environment changes. For example, Netflix had a strategy based around streaming movies over the internet, whereas Blockbuster had a strategy based around renting DVDs. Since customers were renting less and less DVDs, Blockbuster did not change their strategy soon enough, and as a result, they went bankrupt. Whereas Netflix changed their strategy and hence they were able to survive. Now that we know what strategy is, let's talk about why it is important. Strategy is important because 1. It provides a foundation for success for the organization by aligning execution with the internal and external environment. 2. It provides a foundation for the health and performance of the organization over the long term. 3. Helps organization adapt in complex, continual changing customer expectation and ever-changing technologies. And 4. A clear, effective and regularly updated strategy enables us to execute the organization's strategy. Let's elaborate a little bit on each of these points. So point 1, strategy provides a foundation for success for the organization by aligning execution with the internal and external environment. If an organization doesn't have a strategy, then employees will just be running around like headless chickens. Everyone will be doing their own thing. No one will be working towards a common goal. Hence, without a strategy, an organization cannot function properly. The organization's strategy should include how it will compete, what products and services it will offer, what markets it will serve, how it will differentiate itself from competitors, and how it will allocate its resources. Once the strategy is defined, the organization can start putting actions towards executing that strategy. If the organization's execution is aligned with the strategy, then the likelihood of success increases. Point 2, strategy provides a foundation for the health and performance of the organization over the long term. Without a strategy, an organization is unlikely to be successful in the long term. This is because the organization does not have a plan for getting from where it currently is to where it wants to be in the future. Also, the organization is unlikely to be adaptable to changes in the external environment. With a good strategy, however, the organization has a roadmap for achieving its long-term goals. The strategy includes plans for adapting to changes in the external environment. Hence, an organization with a good strategy is more likely to be successful in the long run. Point 3. Strategy helps organization adapt in complex, continually changing customer expectation and ever-changing technologies. Technology and customer expectations are constantly changing. These changes impact every aspect of an organization, from the products and services it offers to how it interacts with its customers. In order to stay ahead of the curve, an organization needs to be able to adapt quickly to these changes. This requires a strategic mindset. A strategic mindset is the ability to think about the organization from a high-level perspective and to see the big picture. It is the ability to think critically and to develop innovative solutions to complex problems. A strategic mindset is essential for helping an organization adapt to change. Point 4. A clear, effective, and regularly updated strategy enables us to execute the organization's strategy. Execution is the process of putting a strategy into action. It is the process of translating plans into results. Execution is one of the most important aspects of any organization. Without proper execution, even the best strategy in the world is useless. Execution requires a clear understanding of the strategy and a commitment to following through on the plan. It also requires a capable and motivated workforce, people who understand the strategy and are committed to executing it. One way to ensure that people are committed to the strategy is to involve them in the process of developing the strategy. When people are involved in developing a strategy, they are more likely to buy into it and to work hard to make it successful. Another key to successful execution is monitoring progress and making adjustments as needed. The external environment is constantly changing, so it is important to track progress against the strategy and to make changes as needed. Alright, so let's now summarize this section. Strategy is the long-term direction of an organization. It is the scope of an organization's activities. It is advantage for the organization over competition. It is the strategic fit with the business environment. It is the organization's resources and competencies. It is the values and expectations of powerful actors. An integrated set of actions aimed at increasing the long-term well-being and strength of an enterprise, the determination of the basic long-term goals of an organization, and the adoption of courses of an action and the allocation of resources necessary for carrying out these goals. Moving on, let's look at some characteristics of strategy. So the first characteristic is that strategy is about making choices. Every decision that a manager makes has an opportunity cost. There are other things that could have been done instead. Strategy is about making those tough choices and committing the organization's resources to a particular course of action. The second characteristic is that strategy involves looking at the whole. Strategy is about looking at the organization from a systems perspective. Managers need to consider the interactions between different parts of the organization and how these interactions create synergies or diseconomies. The third characteristic is that strategy is concerned with the future. Strategy is about positioning the organization for success in the future. Managers need to be able to anticipate future trends and changes and develop a strategy that allows the organization to take advantage of these changes. The fourth characteristic is that strategy is a deliberate process. Developing a strategy takes time and careful consideration. It is not a haphazard or intuitive process. Managers need to be able to think critically and systematically about the organization's future. The fifth characteristic is that strategy is a flexible framework. Even though strategy is a deliberate process, it needs to be flexible enough to accommodate changes in the external environment. Managers need to be able to adapt the strategy as new information becomes available. Now let's move on to the key elements of a strategy. So the first key element is a vision. A vision is a statement of an organization's aspirations. It is the organization's desired future state. The vision should be clear, concise, and inspiring. It should provide a sense of direction for the organization and help managers make decisions. The second key element is a mission. A mission is a statement of an organization's purpose. It is what the organization does to achieve its vision. The mission should be specific, measurable, and achievable. It should tell the organization what it does and how it does it. The third key element is objectives. Objectives are specific, measurable, and time-bound goals that an organization sets for itself. Objectives are the steps that an organization takes to achieve its mission and ultimately its vision. They provide focus and direction for the organization and its managers. The fourth key element is an organization's external environment. An organization's external environment consists of the factors that are outside of the organization's control. These factors include things like the political, economic, social, and technological environment. Organizations need to scan their external environment to identify opportunities and threats. Opportunities are factors that could help the organization achieve its objectives. Threats are factors that could hinder the organization's ability to achieve its objectives. The fifth key element is an organization's internal environment. An organization's internal environment consists of the factors that are within the organization's control. These factors include things like the organization's resources, capabilities, and core competencies. Organizations need to assess their internal environment to identify their strengths and weaknesses. Strengths are internal factors that help the organization to achieve its objectives. Weaknesses are internal factors that hinder the organization's ability to achieve its objectives. The sixth key element is strategies and tactics. Strategies are the actions that an organization takes to achieve its objectives. Tactics are the specific methods that are used to implement the strategy. Moving on, let's look at different types of strategies. There are many different ways to categorize different types of strategies. Here we will discuss 3 different types of strategies based on 3 different perspectives. First, we have corporate level strategies. Corporate level strategies are the overall strategies that guide an entire organization. They determine what businesses an organization will be in and how those businesses will be managed. Examples of corporate level strategies include diversification, concentration, and internationalization. The next type of strategy we will look at is business level strategy. Business level strategies are the strategies that are used in specific industries or markets. They determine how an organization will compete against its rivals. Examples of business-level strategies include cost leadership, differentiation, and focus. The final type of strategy we will look at is functional strategies. Functional strategies are the strategies that are used in specific departments or functions within an organization. They determine how different parts of the organization will contribute to the overall strategy. Examples of functional strategies include marketing strategy, financial strategy, and human resource strategy. Okay, so let's now summarize this section. Strategy is a pattern of decisions in which an organization engages as it goes about its work of trying to accomplish its goals. Strategy is a plan of action designed to achieve a goal. Strategy is the long-term direction of an organization. Key elements of a strategy are vision, mission, objectives, external environment, internal environment, strategies, and tactics. There are 3 different types of strategies: corporate-level strategies, business-level strategies, and functional strategies. That was a quick overview of what strategy is. If you want to learn more about strategy, check out my other videos on this topic. Thanks for watching.